Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am back in my trusty old orange sofa. So I've migrated 3 times. Yes, you've heard that right. I've migrated 3 times. And I think I've learned a thing or two about migration and traveling. So I want to share that with you in regards to cultures. I want to share with you 7 things I wish I knew before I moved to Switzerland. It's a lot of things, but I think these are like important to me that I wish I knew before I moved. Let's talk in the comment box. Are you planning to migrate? What do you want to know before you migrate? How are you finding those information? Let's talk in the comment box. I wish I knew that they have an individualistic culture. An individualistic culture and a collectivist culture are usually compared. And you can take a culture like Western Europe or North America and they are more individualistic, right? Islands like Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, island countries are more collectivist cultures. Traits of an individualistic culture are as follows: self-sufficiency, independence, autonomy, and uniqueness. So people are usually, the self comes first. The self is more important than anything than the collective. So coming from a highly collectivist culture where we were taught no man is an island, no man stands alone, to a culture where people believe in the song that says, I am a rock, I am an island. That hit me hard. It took me a while to kind of wrap my head around that because I just couldn't understand why my help wasn't accepted, you know, for example, to someone with a wheelchair who is coming out of the train. I ran once to offer my support to a guy and he was really angry. He didn't want me to help him. So that's number 1 on my list. I wish I knew that the culture was more individualistic than, you know, collective. I wish I knew that it would take my neighbor 5 years to engage in meaningful conversation with me. You heard me right, 5 years. I live in my house, in my apartment for 5 years before my neighbor approached me and talked to me meaningfully. Yes, they will observe and I can't blame them for that, you know, but nobody's gonna run to your door and bring you pie when you move in. Just let's leave it at that. Number 3, I wish I knew that Switzerland was one of the most expensive places to live on earth, and that's no joke. I found an article, I'll leave the link in the description box. In Switzerland, the cost of living index is 122.4 compared to the US, who is number 20 on the list, is 71.05. And the rent index in Switzerland is 50.25. In the US, it's 40.32. I'll leave the link in the description box. You can go ahead and read that article and you'll get more information about that. But it is a very expensive place to live and I wish I knew this before I moved here. Moving on. I wish I knew that they do not appreciate lateness. Let's be frank here. I'm from the Caribbean and late is our middle name. And I wish I knew that in Switzerland that's not accepted. And that can be the breaking point of a relationship, whether business or personal. If you're late and late often, that can make or break the relationship. You usually get a grace period of 5 minutes to arrive. After that, whoever is waiting for you will be gone and that can end the relationship completely. So it is always advisable to be 5 minutes earlier and just wait outside, hang out outside. Whoever you're meeting will be happy. Trust me, that will make the relationship even stronger. That's a very good impression when you're on time in Switzerland. Just a side note, I've missed my train multiple times when I moved here. Like seconds, like really seconds, they are going. There is no excuse. They're on time. And that has forced me to learn to drive gear stick car, because I miss the train so often, and the only car that was at home is a gear stick, so I had to force myself and I taught myself how to drive a gear stick. Number 5 on the list is I wish I knew that my grocery runs or my grocery shopping experience would change completely. My first time I went into it was not in Switzerland, it was in Germany. The first time I went shopping, I stood in the shop like a dummy, because I didn't know the brands, I didn't know what the packages were saying, because they were all in German, which is understandable or was expected, but at least I wasn't even thinking that the brands would be different. So I went into a supermarket, couldn't identify brands, couldn't identify products, and that has changed my shopping experience forever, because now my husband goes shopping. I don't really go shopping. Or if I do, I've become aware of some brands and become loyal to some brands, to them, because to be honest, I have no, I can't learn other brands. It's too much for me. So I've become loyal to the ones that I know. Number 6 on my list, and which is a very, very important one, I wish I knew how the school system works. I moved here with my 7-year-old son, and he went straight into school, and the system is starkly different from the Caribbean system or the English speaking, say America or England system. It's very different. So I wish I knew how that works before coming here. And finally on this list, that might not be important for many of you or some of you, but for me it's very important. I wish I knew that I would become my own hairdresser. So as you can imagine, the African community, especially in the German part of Switzerland, is not very big. So that put us at a disadvantage, where we do not have many options, you know, to get our hair done. And because of that, I've trained myself to be my own hairdresser, and I sport styles like this nowadays. And it has helped me to embrace my own hair, my natural hair, much more, because people here, and this is one thing I appreciate here, people really like our hair. So you just feel even more empowered to wear your Afro natural hair. Right, and that's it for my 7 things I wish I knew before I moved to Switzerland. Of course, there are more things. I will leave them in the description if they come to mind, because I have to think about these things. I've been here now for going on to 7 years. So some of the things are like, I don't remember so well, but these came up and I thought I would share them with you. So let me know if you are planning to migrate and what you wish to know before you migrate, and how you can find these out, you know, because it's possible to find out something. Some things you will just have to live through, but some things are possible to find out before you make that big move. And it's not only migrating, it's also traveling. When you're traveling, how culturally aware are you about the place that you're going to? And in my next video, I'll share with you 5 things, 5 skills that you can train, or 5 skills to have for when you are migrating or when you're traveling, to make it a bit easier, the process a bit easier for you to adapt to your new environment. So I'll see you in that next video, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.